another day I arose. Should I kill myself today? Maybe, I suppose. I wish a line of cocaine were there to put up my nose. Then I could put a stop to all my foes. This is Earth here with some new content for you. This is a story about something that took place a couple years ago with one of my friends, Devin. Devin was one of my friends I knew from high school, and I still hung out with him from time to time. So one day I was with Devin, and he told me that he had a new girlfriend. And I was like, oh, cool, because he hadn't had a girlfriend for a long time, so I was happy for him. Eventually, I ended up meeting his new girlfriend, and right off the bat, I recognized this girl because she was dating someone else I knew, and they had been dating for about 2 or 3 years. The girl's name was Morgan, and when Devin introduced me to her, I waited to see if anything would be said of her second boyfriend, and yeah, it was the first thing that we talked about. Morgan claimed that she was going to break up with her boyfriend of about 2 or 3 years for Devin. She just hadn't gotten around to it yet. And for some reason, at the time, I was okay with this, even though she was clearly cheating, and decided it wasn't my place to tell the other guys, so I decided to stay out of it for a while. Some weeks had passed, and I found out that Morgan had still not broken it off with the other guy. When I found out about this, I asked Devin where he stands on the whole issue, because she's clearly leaving Devin's house and going straight to the other guy's house. His response was, yeah, I know, she says she's slowly breaking it off with him. So I told him, if she's willing to cheat on him with you for this long, going home every day straight to his face for weeks, what makes you think she won't do it to you someday? He became a little defensive at this point and was like, nah, man, he treats her bad and I treat her good. We shortly dropped it after this, and my final thought about it was, I'm just going to let him do his own thing, and I'm going to do mine. Maybe it'll work out between them, though if it were today, I already would have known this girl obviously couldn't be trusted. No questions asked. Well, Morgan eventually broke it off with the other guy, and her and Devin were officially together. About a year and a half went by, and there were no signs of bumps in the road in their relationship. Until one night. All of us ended up going to a party one night that was at a guy's house that Morgan knew. We all arrived and participated in drinking with the other fellow partygoers. At the time, I was a very heavy drinker, so I was indulging in some pretty heavy drinking right away. Devin and Morgan were drinking as well, and we were just having a good time. As the night continued, I proceeded to pass out on a couch in one of the rooms in the house. So I had passed out drunk after this fun night of partying. It was a good time. Well, I eventually woke up out of my drunk slumber without moving much, fortunately. I kind of just opened my eyes, and across from me on the couch was Morgan and the guy that invited us to his house, making out. I quickly shut my eyes just to where I could barely see them with my vision. Morgan turned around to look at me, and then said maybe we should move to another room, and so they did. I was shocked for a few minutes after seeing this. I mean, Morgan and Devin had a really good thing, I thought. But eventually, my mind went back to the what I had told Devin a year and a half ago. If you remember, when I told him, if she's cheating on someone with you, what makes you think she'll never do that to you someday? Well, I was too intoxicated to go and do something about it at the time, so I just rolled over and went to sleep and decided to talk to Devin the next day. The following day, we all returned back to Devin's house, and I was pretty much just counting the seconds for Morgan to leave, so I could finally tell him what had happened. The time finally came where Morgan decided to leave, and right after she left, I said to Devin, you're not going to like what I'm about to tell you. I obviously told him about what had happened the night before when I was on the couch and saw her making out with the other guy. And he immediately began to lash out at me, saying things like, you were drunk last night, man. You have no idea what you're even talking about. He was obviously in denial. He just couldn't accept this as reality. It just got worse from here to the point where he told me to leave. He was clearly on some new levels of upset. So I got up and I left, and actually this is the last time we ever hung out in person. Some time passed, and I heard from another friend that Morgan had broken it off with Devin for the guy that she was making out with at the party. And yeah, Devin was not handling it very well at all. Um, he's kind of a mess now, from what I hear. He obviously was feeling some kind of oneitis for her, which, if you don't know what oneitis is, it's when you have a fixation on a particular girl, kind of like she is the one and only girl for you, which is obviously ridiculous. But I'm sure every guy has felt this for a girl to different degrees. It's ridiculous because for every girl out there you can get together with, the odds are there's probably a better one out there for you. So I don't really believe in the whole concept of there being a person out there who is made for you. Odds are there's probably always someone better for you than who you're with at the moment. Before getting into a relationship with a person, it's definitely good to find out their history with their last partners. You know, if they cheated on their last partners, then they definitely are capable of doing it to you as well. And it might seem like you might just starting to get to know them or think you know them pretty well, but you realistically it takes a pretty long time to get to know someone, if you can ever even actually get to know someone. I'll end on this little small poem from yours truly, Earth. I've bought some roses, I've broke some noses. All the girls want to suck my wiener hole. This is Earth, and I will be back with some new content for you. Thank you.
Luck will follow you for